everybody, welcome back to 3-2 Brew. Today we're going to be doing some pre-modern testing. I'm going to be running through a 3-match setup with Pit Rack, but it's a little bit different of a variety this time. This is going to be black-white Pit Rack. I have a Pit Rack deck in person. I have never played it, sadly. I plan to play it soon, but I'm interested in the concept of a black-white Pit Rack. The reason being is Gerard's Verdict, a card that I absolutely love in this format. This is kind of like we have him to Turok at home, in a sense. Target player discards 2 cards. You gain 3 life for each land card discarded this way. This is not overly powerful when you compare it to him to Turok, but it is very good nonetheless. So I'm going to be rocking through with this. And this is kind of an interesting build that I tossed Enlightened Tutor in and tried to make Enlightened Tutor like extra copies of Curse Scroll, the Rack, or Bottomless Pit. But also the sideboard is built around it somewhat as well. Really, we should maybe have 3, but I want to have to buy a third one. We have only 2 spells this can't get, or 3 total, I guess, with 2 Infest, 1 Perish as sweepers. But it can get Gloom, Engineered Plague, Seal of Cleansing, Furnace, and Crypt. All these can be snagged with Enlightened Tutor as well, so we kind of have a full spread of stuff to deal with. You might be thinking, why do you have Gloom in the sideboard here? If you look at my deck, it's extremely non-white. It's more of a white splash, which is why I have capital B lowercase w when I like write this out, because it's more still mono black Pit Rack, but splashing white for Gerard's Verdict, Enlightened Tutor, and really just Seal of Cleansing. So I'm going with an 8 creature setup here. Hypnotic Spectre is a 4 of, 2 times Plague Spitter. I really like Plague Spitter. This might be a 3 of in the future, but redundancy with these sucks because they kill each other. And then I have 2 Rotten Giants, which I've seen recently. And obviously with us discarding and whatnot, it's a good value 2 mana 3/3 beater. Sorceries, I'm going with 2 Cabal Therapy. I've seen some people running only 1 in their lists. I haven't run this deck in a long time, like even playtesting. I'm going to run with 2. And I'm going to run 1 Duress, or 4 Duress as well. And then 4 Gerard's Verdict and 4 Funeral Charms as our pure discard cards. So overall, we're looking at 14 discard cards. And then we have 4 quote-unquote kill spells, which is Innocent Blood. It's the only spot removal I have in the deck. That might be an oversight by myself, but we do have Curse Scroll to try and deal up with some of the smaller things. But we'll see how stuff like Vor and all that goes. 2 Enlightened Tutor, like I said. I'm running 2 Curse Scroll. Am I just playtesting, like goldfishing this? I'm contemplating a 3rd Curse Scroll. As a former hardcore Sly player, I really like Curse Scroll, but this card is fantastic in this deck. I would maybe cut a Therapy if it underperforms for another Curse Scroll. 4 pits down here as well, and then the lands. The lands are a bit janky due to the color situation. I have 22 total lands, 4 Caves of Kolios, 2 Gemstone Mine, and 1 Reflecting Pool. These are all of our white sources in the deck. Again, it's more of a splash. I don't know if this is correct. Just going to go out there and level with everybody. I have no clue this is actually the right mix for this. I just want to see how it goes. We got 4 Factory and 3 Wasteland as well. In the sideboard, we have 3 pieces of Graveyard Hate. Really, these should probably be like, I think it was Paul Master. It was definitely Paul Master who was playing Pit Rack recently. And I really enjoyed it because he had a lot of creature in the sideboard. I went with more of let's lean into Enlightened Tutor and use that as a toolbox here. So I got 2 Crypt, 1 Furnace, 4 Seal of Cleansing to deal with Oath style setups or Enchantress in certain manners, kind of like Replenish, but that's more falls into the realm of Gloom. Gloom is my anti-replenish card. So yeah, that's interesting. And then Engineered Plague is a 3 of in this deck. I love Engineered Plague. I've been playing a ton of Goblins. Obviously, if you've seen my Goblins journey, you know that Engineered Plague cooks Goblins, cooks Elves. So it's very good there. I like it. I have Infest as well to deal with those small creature decks and Perish. This sideboard is leaning very heavy into dealing with creature decks. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes. Again, this is my first time playing it. It's just a little brew I put together. I looked at some other lists to get some, some insight and maybe some potential, like, do this, do that. But I wanted to base this deck around Gerard's Verdict and the power of Enlightened Tutor, which has kind of fallen off since we lost land tax. So very, very excited. Excited to see where this goes. Just want to say thank you to everybody for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys. Let's hop into it. We're on the draw here for the first. This is a good looking opening hand, though. We have our white mana that we need. If they have a low down threat, we have Innocent Blood. I like the way this hand looks. This is right up my alley. Island? Hapless Researcher. Okay. I'm not going to Innocent Blood that. That doesn't seem like it. Interesting. Don't know what's going on over there. Could you imagine if we're playing mono blue wizards right now? I would actually be in love. I don't know if that's a deck in this format. Like at all. I don't know if anyone's even experimented with blue with wizards. I like wizards though. It's a sweet form. It's a sweet deck. It's a sweet layout. Double Verdict here, I hope, puts an absolute whooping on them. This looks like madness the hard way, in my personal opinion. A huge respect to my opponent for playing matching basics. Nothing but love on my front. Yeah, so we're obviously playing against a deck that's going to be extremely good against us, if it is madness. And it is. All right. Well, let's deploy Gerard's Verdict. See how this goes for us. Island and another Hapless Researcher. Okay, perfect. Next turn we put down the Factory. Yep, that's fine. The Plague Spitter is very interesting as well. Nah, I think it's going to be Verdict again. Just flushing them out on cards. Ooh, I wish I had a black source right now. Okay. Nope, I will not pay 3. Fair is all. Hopefully we see land next turn, because I like to go Innocent Blood into Plague Spitter. Aquamoeba. It's actually not bad either. Pretty interested, okay. Very nice. Let me go black here. Innocent Blood. And then I'm going to go black, colorless, and deploy my Plague Spitter. So if they don't want to die to this, they're going to need to discard. I won't block this time. Okay. All right, let's duress them. See what they got going on over there. Then we can make our future moves as we need to. Okay. That don't matter to me in the slightest. No, I will not be paying. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to move to attack. Arrogant Worm. Well, wouldn't have mattered anyway. They're going to line this block up here. And I'm going to Funeral Charm. Oh, I can't Funeral Charm because it hurt itself. Darn. Okay. That's a tough one. Oh, actually, I can. +2, -1. Okay. Now they get to decide if they want to try and beat through Mishra's factory or not. Okay. We're going to toss out the rack. See if they found their third circular logic or not. Doesn't seem like they have. And black for another hippie. Yep, they're going to see a nice damage there. Wow, Mongrel can get in. It's okay. Gonna get in with a Hypnotic Spectre. Okay. Make them discard. You know what else? I'm actually gonna go this route. I'm gonna go black, black, and that. I'll line a chump blocker up for the Hypnotic Spectre. They're taking good damage. If they want to play this game of chicken with me again, I'll gladly play it. Okay. Let's lead on a duress. Okay. Okay. Well, that sucks. Doesn't Frantic Search untap 3 lands? Have I not been playing this correctly or something? I guess actually that doesn't, you know what? It doesn't even matter. Because I'm going to be able to just hippie. They're going to be at 0. Madness occurs from Arrogant Worm. I thought this untapped their lands. Am I wrong or something? They're going to ping for 3. All right. GG's. Wow. Well, we're playing against a discard deck. And we're doing pretty good. Kind of shocked. Perish has some run here, as does Infest. I could see Engineered Plague, but their deck is pretty diverse, and I don't really want to have to take that route. Plague Spitter has some game here. Bottomless Pit is good. I like having all of my people in. Duress is good, but it's not amazing against them. Yeah, I think I'd like to cut 2 Duress and 1 Bottomless Pit. Just to get a bit more interaction in here. This is an interesting version of Madness, though, personally. I think it's interesting. I just realized these are extended game clocks this person put together as well. Huh. Never seen that. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Another banger of a hand. I am from New England, USA. You? Alright, let's go Swamp. Funeral Charm? Target player discards a card. Oh, very nice. How is it there? Never been. Very nice. They're from Brazil. How cool is that? I should have brought in Graveyard Hate. That's stupid of me. What am I thinking? Okay. We're gonna verdict them. I think it's so cool that through Premodern I get to like randomly interact with people from Brazil. You know? I just think that's so rad, personally. I'm a huge fan of that kind of stuff. They gonna get the beats in here? No. So they like what they have in their hand. Well, let's try and get rid of that hand. Should have probably played Curse Scroll out first. I didn't really think about that. I'm okay with this getting countered. Perfect. No, no. Circular Logic. I've never played with it, but it's one of my favorite cards in theory. I think it's so sick. Such a freaking cool counterspell. Hapless Researcher. Okay, they're down to one card in hand. They know what's going on. It's no news to them. What did they just do there? Oh, they dropped a Wonder. Okay. Definitely gonna play out a Wasteland. I'm gonna Wasteland Curse Scroll. And then I'm gonna drop Bottomless Pit. And we'll get to work on their board here in a moment. Waste them. Leave them off everything. I mean, they got good damage right now. Just discard, hit for 4. Ooh, and it's Arrogant Worm. Very nice. Very nice. If only I could have wasted and played the Curse Scroll there. Life would have been much better. Second Curse Scroll. It's an interesting proposition. Curse Scroll on Hapless Researcher. Naming Curse Scroll. Okay. So, like, I want to crack this Wasteland to take them off of 3 mana, but at the same time, if I draw another... It doesn't even matter, though. Because of the way that the draw works. It's a bit frustrating. Interesting they played that island. Why would they not just discard it? Just to swap that power and toughness. Oh, Roar the Worm. That's respectable. GG's. All right, all right. So they do have some flashback action going on there. We should respect that. I think 1 Furnace, 1 Crypt. It's actually very respectable. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Maybe a Parish is down. Funeral Charm. Still at 8 creatures. Rotting Giant. Rotting Giant does chunk up the board relatively well, but okay. Keep. We're on the play for this final game at least. In the blind, I think what I name is Circular Logic. Should I name Wild Mongrel? Wild Mongrel it is. 2 Root Wallace. Very intense. Okay. They got themselves an unsummon. Hapless Researcher. I can go and snatch that unsummon right now, but I think that... I actually think I should go and snatch that unsummon. Because if I don't, they're just going to end up doing double Root Wall on me. Because how does Madness work again? Yeah, I'm just gonna hit the unsummon. Triple Basking Root Walla? Oh my god. They're addicted to the root wallas over there. I am going to cast out Tormod's Crypt. We got 3 of them. Gerard's Verdict is just dead right now, as is Bottomless Pit. I assume overall this is a bad matchup for us. Praying for a Perish off the top. Of course, we can't rip it. I think we just got to do Bottomless Pit. Because I don't think there's any time for me. I'm pretty sure with Madness, the way it works is it gets exiled technically. Yeah, it's a root walla. No way! They did have a circular logic. That's what they ripped off the top. Brutal. Okay. Oh, I missed my window. Oops. Missed my window. No. I wanted to crypt that in response. That's entirely my fault. Ain't no one to blame but myself. Perish, Infest. Either one would be fantastic. We got the root walla here. Yeah, I can't Gerard's Verdict them because I'm just dust if I do. I think what I'm gonna do actually is just Gerard's Verdict myself. Discard the swamp, say okay. Try and give myself a little bit more of a window. But they got this hapless researcher. Which is just gonna give him a free root walla. Yeah, this is quite difficult. I don't know how. I mean, I said I got 2 outer in this deck. Plague Spitter. It's definitely not non-zero. Yep, pump. Pump. Yeah, it's going to be 6. Plague Spitter here would be crazy. Curse Scroll is pretty crazy. Alright. I ain't going to argue with that. They're going to have to constantly leave back 1 activation. They can just play their last root walla, though. Man, they got crazy lucky on that draw, having 3 root wallas in a row like that. It don't even matter now, though. Yeah, they're probably just going to pump, because I can't do nothing about it. Infest here would go super hard. If they did that, I could start controlling the board for real. Gemstone mine. GG's. Alright, I lost that one to myself. I could have had a Bottomless Pit, but I don't think it would have even mattered. They have such a good hand. Tough matchup for our deck. The sole deck in the format that needs you to discard to win. It's overall, I'm pretty stoked with how the deck ran. It ran well, felt good. Let's hop into match number 2 here. On the play in this second match here. Ooh, this is a really, really bold keep. I'm going to do it. We have so much disruption. We just got to pray they're not a creature deck. Turn 1 duress. Let's see what they're working with over there. My lord. Important. Well, this is some kind of blue-green counter your whole soul deck. Swamp is very nice. Swamp will let me duress again. I'm going to take the daze, so I hope they daze, personally. I'm hoping they daze. Because I want to develop this Curse Scroll. This is a card I'm highly interested in at this exact moment. Innocent Blood seems like it's probably a dead play. Curse Scroll, on the other hand, seems like it's going to have a ton of game to slowly grind this opponent out. Double Memory Lapse. Non-land permanent to its hand. This spell was kicked. Return another non-land permanent. All right, they're going to need to get to 3 mana for that. I'm going to take the Daze. And then I'm going to Curse Scroll. They're probably kicking themselves right now. They're probably like, man, I was going to cast that Daze. I don't want to time walk myself. I wanted to get my Curse Scroll in, personally. So that's how I'm feeling about the situation. You are seeing the downside of this type of deck, though. We are playing heavy black, so you're going to see that. Memory Lapse. Ooh. Let's grow a Druid. Well, in that case, Innocent Blood. Keep it pushing. We know their hand. Wow. They just drew them back to back? This timeline is crazy. Yeah, I'm going to go Plague Spitter here. They better grow this Dryad right quick. Because if they don't, I'm going to finish just untapping. Pray that a Curse Scroll hits. Plague Spitter is a nasty card right now, though. This is a big turn. There's a Wasteland. All right, takes me off a white. Rushing River. Are they gonna kick it and hit the Curse Scroll as well? It's a bold move. They're probably thinking long and hard about it. This Rushing River is just not. I don't know. It's probably not the place you want to use it in. They're probably wondering how big of a deal is this Wasteland. Do I want to keep it? Do I not want to keep it? Okay. They want to keep it. In that case, what do I want to do here? So we know they got 2 Memory Lapse and a counter spell. So if we're going to resolve something, we better do it now. I think again though, we just run out Plague Spitter. Just make them use it. Because the Wasteland's back up. We know that they got 3 counters in their hands. I'm never resolving anything again. Actually, Memory Lapse ain't that big of a deal. They would need double spell here. All right, they're going to waste me. They're feeling confident. I'm going to beat him with Plague Spitter. So I don't have a soul like that, you know. I'm going to just keep it pushing. Technically winning this race, I believe. Wildly enough. We do have an opportunity where if we hit land, we don't want to duress here. Actually, we do want to duress here. Watch this. So we're going to duress. They're going to Memory Lapse. Trigger goes on the stack. Target creature gets -1/-0 until end of turn. And I attack. Easy as can be. What is this? What is this lad? Well, we're going to get Rotting Giant online. That's what I can tell you. They want to block here, they can. I'm not going to stop them. There's the third mana. Sweet art of that memory lapse. Okay. Caves. Nice pull. We can cast our whole hand now. Memory lapse, Mystic Snake. So right now they have these four. I'm going to take a memory lapse off their hands so they don't have to worry about it anymore. We'll put a curse scroll here. See if they want to memory lapse this. Oh, I'm an idiot. I tapped the wrong land. No, I screwed that one up so bad. I screwed that one up so bad. What an idiot. What an idiot. Screwed that one up big time. Okay. Rotting Giant's fully fueled up. I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep as well. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to let this rock and roll. McDonald's. They don't have Mystic Snake mana up. They can't respond to that. What are they doing? They got another Rushing River? Okay, I'm just going to exile Duress. Curse Scroll. Just going to play her out nice and casual. You can memory lapse me again. If they did, honestly, I'd probably just Enlightened Tutor. What do they got going on over here? Turning that to my hand? Well, in that case, I'm just going to Enlightened Tutor. Gonna go grab the rack. Okay. So we did not know that card. We got rid of one of their memory lapses, didn't we? We're going to deploy the rack. You want a counterspell? You want a memory lapse? It's all here for you, brother. You can do one of the two. Which spell do you not want to play against? That's kind of the question. Sylvan Estater? Sweet name, by the way. All right. I'm going to play Routing Giant. I'm trying to burn as much counter magic as I can out of them. Okay. Don't know, it was a very interesting choice. Probably would have memory lapsed that, but power to him. So next turn, I'm going to draw. I'm going to curse scroll. I'm going to keep it pushing. Yep. Draw. End step. Yeah. I'm going to just do this. If I draw another mana, then I can Cabal Therapy next turn. I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep. One. Hit them. I'm going to name Cabal Therapy. Cabal Therapy. Nope, not Cabal Therapist. Cabal Therapy. And then Cabal Therapy. All right, GG's. So they're like hardcore counter magic. They're definitely a Perish deck. And I guess they're also going to be an Engineered Plague deck. They're not really. Hmm. Probably Infest. Yeah, probably just got to run sweepers against them. Duress is good. Funeral Charm's worse. And Plague Spitter was very good. Bottomless Pit seems like it's going to be difficult to resolve against them. Second game on the draw here. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. This is a trap of a hand. I can't keep this. This single black, one colorless with a double verdict is just not. I can't do that. Although, can I? I mean, do I just do this? So I have double duress. Now we need to be able to deal with a Kyrian Dryad. This is like pseudo Groatog. Really, it's just Dryad. Alright. I'm gonna send this one back. I don't think this is keepable. Not as bad. Still pretty bad. I actually think Spectre's worst card in this hand, wildly enough. Getting Giant down is going to be a bit difficult. Getting it to stick is going to be even more difficult. So we'll turn one duress. They kept a cool 7, so they are at the advantage here. What do they got? Portent. This is a Portent art I've never seen. I've never seen anyone cast this Portent in like all my games against Naut and every other blue-white control deck and blue control deck. The videos I've watched hundreds of hours of pre-modern videos, might not show in my play. But I have. And I've never seen anyone cast Portent with that art. Let me know if it's a new art. Never seen that. Could you imagine just like leading first turn and just smacking me with like Portent, like changing my deck instead of theirs? Duress up top. Let's see if they got the days for it. Naturalized Mystic Snake. Rushing River? Rushing River is the answer, in my opinion. I don't got nothing for him to naturalize. I'm going to get this Rotting Giant in under the radar on him. There's a standstill. Oop. I'm going to remove that stop. I'm going to Factory. Flush Giant. You can't play scared into a standstill. Sorry, everybody. Everybody at home who's watching. I don't play scared into it. They could have a daze. That would be a bummer. But alas. That's some good rips off the top. They shouldn't miss a land drop now. It's a positive for them. They're probably nice and fat with... Whoa, Mox Diamond. Just ripping out the Mox on me. They said fire up the Mystic Snakes. Ditch the off. Off. Set. Basic. I got words for them on that. I'm going to count that as the island we knew about. We dropped an island we didn't know about. I'm going to get in with this Rotting Giant. Okay. I'll discard Duress. See if they just want to do a little value flash at Mystic Snake. No, they don't. Okay. Treetop Village. It's a big chungus. Double Factory beats a snake. Newly controlled. Boot up that factory. Counter target spell. That's fine. We don't need to cast anything. Attack with factory. You gotta flash in big snake. Giving it a tink. You can naturalize it as well. That's the route they want to go. That's fine. That unlocks Rod and Giant on the next attack. I'll pump it. Give them a chance to naturalize it in response. Yep, there we go. That's fine with me. That is A-okay with me. I mean, I think I'm still going to fire up. I guess I won't because of Treetop. Rotting Giant trading for Treetop, though, would be kind of heady. So then I could just play Plague Spitter. I think I'm going to offer that up, depending on what I draw. So I can still go land, get a discard spell. Oh, they got that Rushing River. Oh, Gush. Wow, I was not expecting this deck to play Gush. I mean, you may as well cast a snake now, right? The only reason I'm not casting spells is because I don't have any. I mean, I have spells to cast, but they're not going to do a whole lot for me right now. Okay. Like, you got to cast Snake, right? Like, you're not going to have the mana up for it. They probably have other counter spells in their defense. But I would personally cast Snake. So what I'm going to do right here, take them off the Treetop Village. Imagine they had Teferi's response. That'd be such a tilt. Not even a land destruction deck. Okay. I'm not going to play nothing else. They probably have a counter spell. Let's just be honest. Probably have one. Okay, Rotting Giant, gonna eat my Wasteland. And then I'll play a Plague Spitter. See a Memory Lapse or just a raw counter spell? No. Excuse me? Excuse me? Well, we know they got 2 islands. Get their own Wasteland. Okay. It's fine with me. That does not allow them to Mystic Snake. Okay. Where? Oh boy. Plague Spitter is not helping right now. Yeah, I guess it actually blocks pretty well. Because I could like block a 3-power creature. And I'm gonna just play the rack. Not doing nothing for me right now, but they got that rushing thing. Okay. I'm gonna just sit here and keep pinging. That's nasty. This is gonna be such a nasty line here. Go ahead. Yep. Mystic Snake. That's fine. You can't attack. You could, but you shouldn't. Theoretically, I can attack. I'm not going to. Pretty sure they still have an island in their hand. They can fly overhead here. Yeah, they're power. Okay. We know they still have a Mystic Snake, so I'm definitely going to Cabal Therapy. If they block here, they lose both creatures. So they can't really do that. What? Really? Huh. Well, I'm going to Cabal Therapy, name me Mystic Snake. They have a late game daze. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Was not expecting a late game daze. I'll take a Quirion Dryad here. Actually, what I really like is a Mishra's Factory. Take one of these as well, actually. I should have just not. I didn't think they were going to block with that Plague Spitter. I'm just going to be dead honest, everyone. Did not expect that. Okay. Naturalize. It's a Mystic Snake. Okay. Mystic Snake in an island. Well, there's an island. Is that the one they had? Yeah, it was. Yeah, they're playing like Snapcaster Magic on me right now. Okay. Other caves. Parish isn't viable right now. I need a creature, even a factory, to flash back Cabal Therapy. Tell me they snake here. Come on. Sneak and push the damage. Oh, can't get him to do it. Glorious day. Flashback therapy. Name Mystic Snake. They don't want me to see their hand. Okay. Perish. No counterspell? No. Oh, that is devastating. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I'm playing discard. They're playing counter magic. Pretty cool blue-green tempo shell. Not gonna lie to you. Kind of dig it. There's the rack. GG's. Seed. All right. Plague is looking very nice to me now, actually. Hmm. Therapy has a lot of value. I think Funeral Charm's actually worse here. I'm going to be okay with just running out Engineer Plague. They have Rushing River or whatever. But Plague on Snake is not non-zero. Yes. Keep that. In the blind, I think I name... I'm going to name Dryad. No Dryad, but they do have a Snake in a Daze, 2 treetop villages. Okay. We got a Wasteland for the treetop village. See what they lead on here. Raw Island. Alright. I'm going to play out Caves and the Rack. They have Daze. They have Rushing River too. See how they want to handle this. Because I will just take next turn off. Coast I'm less worried about. I'm going to just pass on through. Okay, they found a Wasteland. I'd probably hit Caves. Yeah, smart move, smart move. Nothing else. I'm going to go black, black 1. Hypnotic Spectre. We'll probably daze this. On the hard cast. No, I will not. We had to flush it out at some point. See if they got any more lands. I would like another land here. Portent. Even up the blue, tapping down the interesting. What is the theory behind that? Innocent Blood is a very fair card. Moving at sorcery speed is a bit difficult. I have contemplated like swapping that out for the whatchamacallit. But alright, Gemstone Mine is a nice hit here. Because I can black, 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 hippie, strippy. Hit their village, put them back a turn. They're still behind us on the mana curve. We're about to get a Hypnotic Spectre fully online. If the only other land they have is Treetop Village. Let me see, by the way, I forgot. Draw a card, no. Portent targeting. Chooses not to do the Portent ability, which is... You may have that player shuffle. Okay. So they did not shuffle. There's an unknown island. So they can Rushing River me here. I'm going to attack. Okay. There goes another treetop village. Curse scroll. What I'd love here is for them to let this resolve. I attack next turn. I have them discard. Maybe they flash in Snake out of fear. I innocent, I flashback Cabal Therapy. Hit like Rushing River if they don't use it here. And then like Innocent Blood, the Mystic Snake. just rip apart their hand. And just call it a day. They're gonna let the Curse Scroll come down. Yep, Rushing River that, because they want to have this up for the big snake. Another portent. So they missed land drop. Interesting. Extremely interesting. We're ahead on damage. An additional mana here does wonders for us. Let's see what they choose to do there. Chooses not to shuffle, so they like the card. That's a card we actually, I believe, want to resolve. So Hippie here. Memory lapse? Mana leak. Well, we weren't getting that through anytime soon. So. They do have Mystic Snake mana now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave with the rack. I'm going to slam second rack. They're going to Mystic Snake, and then I'm going to Innocent Blood. Or they're just going to run out Skyfolk. And then I'm going to, whoa. Oh, because Gemstone Mind taps for any. That's sick. I forgot about that. That's why I put that in there. I'm going to Innocent Blood. And then I'm going to play the rack. Another mana would make my day here. Deck, please. Mana leak. No, no. Okay. So they're still going to get a ping from the rack regardless. Ain't nothing changed on that front. Plague can come down if they want a snake here for tempo. Other mana would be 8 plus. It's a bottomless pit. It's actually quite good. But I'm going to pass through for now. Tempo snake at the end step. I'm not quite willing to give up this gemstone mine yet. And I don't currently need the gemstone mine to cast bottomless pit. I believe this deck should have Factor Fiction in it. Really? Curse Scroll. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm going to name Mystic Snake. Okay. Okay. That cannot feel good to counter like that. It just can't. Rack is hitting them for 2. I can take out a Mystic Snake if I can get my hand low enough. Factory off the top would just be golden. Swamp will also take though. We're gonna lead on Engineer Plague. This Parish is gonna taste really good when it comes down next turn. Unless they draw more counter magic, then that's just a huge bummer. Which it very well could. Not gonna deny that. Very nice. Very, very nice. I could not ask for a more optimal outcome from that right there. They're still taking pings. I'm about to hopefully slam Bottomless Pit. Wow. Bottomless Pit. The Rat goes second. They discard a card at random. It is Mox Diamond. Whoops. Set stop. Set stop. What's going on here? Set stop. Whoops. I'm an idiot. Sorry, everybody. You just had to watch me be an absolute idiot. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cash in some value off of this. This is going to be Infest. Infest. Okay. Oh, baby, it's a triple. We're going to put the rack second. Another Mox Diamond. Okay. On their end step, I am going to Enlighten Tutor. Do you counter the tutor or do you counter what it gets? It's the age-old question. Okay. Thank you, my friend. Pass through here. They're going to take 2. I'm going to deal 2. I'm going to try and get the rack to have insurance in case they blow this one up. Or a curse scroll. Actually, they're just dead. If I just hit them with the Enlightened Tutor. GG's. All right, we took that match. Very, very fun second match. All right, took them 2-1 against, it was like blue-green tempo. Yeah, I know. Your deck's rad. Their deck is rad. We'll play here for the final match. Ooh, baby. We got a bold keep here. But I'm going to do it. I'm just going to see what it feels like. In the blind, just going to hit him with a little Funeral Charm. Target them. Chop up their hand a little bit. Make them think about it. Put them on a mold of 6. Imagine if this is just madness again. Alright, Mana Leak. This is probably control of some kind. No land drop? That is concerning for them. I'm going to play Rotten Giant. We'll see what they want to do about it. The polluted delta instantly cracked. No thoughts done with it. Turboing through. I am going to attack with Rotting Giant. Saw blue black land. This could be Psychotog, which means they could have days. I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit. PKEG. Okay. In a bottomless pit then. Hold on a second. There we go. Just hope they don't hit the cave. But that is my only source of white currently. Funny enough. This is Tog though, we're kind of screwed. Nether Spirit. You get out of here, Nether Spirit. Go on and get out of here. What are we playing against? It's gotta be Tog, right? Their own factory. Okay. Well, that can't do the block trick on me right now. Okay. That was the optimal play. I'm going to get in with Routing Giant. Exile the Innocent Blood. Then I'm going to go right on down to Funky Town. I'm going to hit him with another Bottomless Pit. They got counter magic for this one. Ooh, an Impulse. This is going to be a tough one to battle through. Because they're just going to blow up my Routing Giant, probably. Though maybe not. Maybe they're like, these Bottomless Pits are too much of an issue. And they end up just dealing with them instead. Very real possibility. AK and another factory. That's a bummer for them. That extra factory probably would have been nice. Quicksand. Parallax Tide. Okay. What's their plan here? They can just stifle on top of the trigger. That's so annoying. I hate that about Tide. Because they could just double exile. Hopefully I draw some discard here. I don't. I do draw a land. Okay. Oh, actually they can't. Because that goes on the bottom. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wonder why they didn't take factory. How do they have no cards in hand? What just happened there? How do they not have a card in their hand? Do they play a land? Fade counter. V Amaro plays V Amaro? I'm so confused. I don't know what happened there. Ball therapy doesn't do anything. That Parallax Tide is going to hit before their draw. I'm going to get everything back. Just oopsie daisies. Okay. It's all here. Another island. They can fire up their factory if they really want to. I can't attack currently, which is fine. But ain't no big deal to me. Because now I can just block. Bottomless pit, swamp. That's fine. I'll just fire up the Mishra's factory. Lay some blocks down here. Unless they play another tide, which would just be absurd since it's their top deck ripper. Nope. Swamp. They can't attack. They are going to attack. Okay. Comes a 3/3. Okay. Huge rip. Enormous rip. They have no counter magic. We have cards in the yard. I can just chump block this Nether Spirit till the sun comes up. Not a big deal. Another land for them. It's disappointing. Can I get a rack, please? Another factory. It's actually enormous. No. Okay. Attack with everyone. Gonna get rid of the innocent blood. Okay. Watch what they do here. Because here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pump this. They're gonna quicksand in response, not kill their Nether Spirit, which is a-okay, but it clears the quicksand. Another card in the yard. Yep, that's totally fine with me. I got no qualms with that. I'm top decking, you're top decking. Wow, they're hitting nothing but lands. They must be so tilted. I don't feel bad though. I'm sorry, opponent. You're playing the bad guy deck. Hit the factory from my yard. Okay. Wish I had I wish I had a main deck like exile target opponent's graveyard or a piece from their graveyard. Makes a case for Withered Wretch, to be honest with you. Nether Spirit's sick though. I picked up a handful of them. think I had the original, was it Torment? If I remember correctly. They probably got some kind of action now. I assume they do. It's the next tide. Yeah, you can have the factory. Don't bother me in the slightest. Take it all if you want. They're looking for that stifle. Issue is they won't ever be able to find it. We'll have to continually discard. Don't matter to me though. I'm gonna just pass. I'm gonna let them do their thing. All I need is a rack. That's all. Parallax Tide fades. They can take 2 more of my lands. They just drew a stifle. They can do it like right now. Powder keg. Okay. That ain't really doing it for me, Chief. Double pit. Duress. That ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not worried about it. We just gotta pray no stifle. That's all. But even then, I don't really care that much, to be honest with you. It's like not that large of a deal. Powder keg's gonna tick up. An enlightened tutor here would be very nice. No hit on the powder keg. Chose not to put a counter on it. Very interesting. Chain of vapor. Okay. Okay. I need a second threat to be able to beat him with. So I got no way to take care of this nether spirit. I mean, I don't care how many lands they take. I have more than enough. I've drawn too much mana, actually. I've drawn too much mana and too much random stuff. So if you want to take some lands, Chief. Ain't no one here gonna stop you. Innocent Blood here even plays. Gerard's Verdict ain't doing what I'm looking for. Gerard's Verdict could be doing what I'm looking for. If for some reason they pass through and then I'm just chilling here. But we're in a stalemate right now. I can't remember. This is the first or the second game? Is this the first game still? Turn 5. What turn are we on? Turn 14. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is still the first game. Quicksand. Okay. I mean, we're just hanging out staring at each other. Gerard's Verdict gets dumped. Funeral Charm gets dumped. Okay. This all happens at upkeep. Okay. Okay. Just gonna make them. They got the stifle. Do it now. It was a Tog. Oh, man. Oh, man. That means I'm free to attack with Rotting Giant. But there is a quicksand over there. Wow. That was... Oh, found it. Finally. Finally. Um, the rack. Pit, pit. Alright, they're taking bolts now. They can tick up the powder keg. Yep, they can deal with that. That's still a bolt, though. Yep, go ahead. You can blow it. Stand still. Well, if I can find a wasteland here. I'm gonna push through for now. I want my factory back. Because that's the thing with factory. If I can get it back, then we're just looking way better. Well, that was wild. GG's. Okay. That was a super long first game. Seal of Cleansing is a must here. More for less for the actual whatchamacallits. Huh. Alright. Sorry. I know it was a long pause, everybody. Seal cleansings need to come in. All this needs to come in. Duress is very good. Funeral Charm. Innocent Blood. With their setup, it's very good against a Tog. But I also don't have another way to kill a creature. No, it can't be that. Although I could just curse scroll it. Alright, we'll cut 2 Innocent Bloods. Plague Spitter I like. Hippies I like. But there are worse due to quicksand. Whew, a lot of cuts here. Gerard's Verdict is very good, but a little bit difficult to cast. Funeral Charms don't do what I need them to do. They do work at instant speed. I think they were good accidentally last game. So let's just roll into the second game here. We are on the draw. That was a long game. How many turns did that go to? What turn was that? Turn 17. Good lord. Alright, this is a crazy hand. I'm going to keep this. If you're going to give me double rack, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I'm going to rack again. Okay. I don't want to walk into a daze. It's my biggest thing. Nice little AK for them to enjoy. I don't want to walk into a daze, so I'm going to play first scroll next turn. Wow. Okay. Seal of cleansing it is. Wasteland off the top would be one of the best draws we could have. That's also very good. Hypnotic Spectre. Counterspell. Interesting call with Quicksand. Not what I would have guessed, personally. We're closing in. I'm just waiting for the powder keg. They can have an AK. I know that it hurts us on our rack hits, but that's okay with me. Land here is fantastic. So I can now Hypnotic Spectre. They thought about it. Okay. No, I'm not interested in sacking the land, my friend. I'll think about it, but I'm not interested in it. That was the least of my worries. If you bounce my cleansing because you thought I was going to do something to your tide, they can hit their quicksand here and then just stifle. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to hippie you. I hope you drop here. Parallax wave. And you did. All right. I understand that quicksand is going to be a real issue, but if I find a wasteland, then we're fully open for business. It's not a wasteland. I cannot attack with the hippie because of the quicksand. Of course, they got themselves a Foth. I'm going to give them Swamp Parallax Tide or Chain of Vapor. Their choice. This is probably, in all honesty, a very difficult matchup for us. For anybody watching. Just the way this deck is constructed. AKs, we've seen, you know, we don't have that many lands. Parallax Tide is pretty bad against our deck. Funny part is I can't remember what I just gave him. I think I just gave him another wave. Or another tide, I mean. I wish I would have remembered that. Yeah, I think that was tide. No, that's what I wanted to hit with my darn Seal of Cleansing. So frustrating. All right, GG's. I'm not going to sit here and play this game. I just want to go on record, everybody. I hate Parallax Tide. I think Parallax Tide is one of the biggest Nambo cards you can play. Like, it's no fun. Land Destruction, I love. It's not that I hate playing against Land Destruction. I don't. I love playing against Land Destruction. It's the one-sidedness of it. It's the fact that it slots into naught with just absolutely zero thoughts. I don't know. It's a very much a non-fun card. I'm not going to play them out to time. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to duress. And then I'm going to Cabal Therapy. AK, Impulse, Powder Keg. Chain of Vapor. I think we go Impulse here. Take the Impulse. Next time we hit a black source, we just slam. Yeah, Gerard's Verdict. When was I radicalized? I was radicalized right now, right here. Chain of Vapor Island. Okay. This means they could have the satisfaction of powder kegging, but they're probably going to want to hold up for accumulated knowledge. Now they're going to powder keg, which is a very interesting concept. Me, personally, I probably would have... You know what, I'm going to... Oh, I should have played... Oh, I screwed the pooch there. I messed that one up big time. I screwed that one up so bad. If I discard my factory here, I'm going to look like such a dunce. I wanted to hold the factory back, hoping that they would tick up on the keg. What a stupid move. Well, there's a quicksand anyway. There's an AK. Nope, no AK from him. Don't want to restock and potentially force a draw. Discard the therapy, please. It's a good day. It's a good day. Double bottomless pit. What do you want to do about it? Funny part is they still end up with 2 cards in their hand. Unless they're instants. They're cooked. Oh. Man, that feels good. Things that give me a dopamine hit. That right there. This doesn't hit enchantments, which is a real tough one for them. I'm just going to hit another one. I'm not doing anything else, so it's not a big deal. It's going to get discarded anyway. Powder kegs for the factory. Alright, give me some creatures deck, please. Triple bottomless pit. Ooh, that is correct. That puts them in such a predicament now. Because it's like you either just take two ways. Like there's, you know, but you do have quicksand. But if I find a waste, then what? That's sort of the question. I feel like you have to tick up. Yeah, I feel like you don't have a choice. Curse Scroll's too powerful. Just force them to use their resources. They got their own factory now. Which ain't bad. This deck could use some powder kegs, I think, actually. The more that I've been playing it. Gemstone Mine, we just keep pushing. If they want to try and factory attack, then we just square up with them. Let's land. Come on, give me a good creature here. Innocent blood. That's not going to do nothing. I'd love to see them, like, get another glyph here. They'll probably just hit a tide, though. Why does Quicksand also tap for a colorless? I've been wondering about that for a while. I feel like that's a little whack, personally. Factory. Okay. Well, they have like a kill spell here. Okay. Pump. I'm very confused. What did that do? Why would they do that? Okay. I don't think I need 3 bottomless pits. So I'm not too buggered by that. Their own crypt. It's quite a funny concept. Second main. ET. I'm just going to go grab the rack. Actually? Yeah, no, I'm just going to grab the rack. Makes the most sense here. It's going to turn them into a bolt of turn, which is okay if they take me off lands. That was the thing. That's what I was thinking about. Because I was thinking about Curse Scroll. I'm like, well, Curse Scroll is a shock, a guaranteed shock a turn. You know, all yada, yada, yada. But the rack is a guaranteed bolt with double bottomless pit. Do I have a bottomless pit in my sideboard? No, I don't. So I do have one more to hit, actually, funny enough. Other land? Should have just... I guess it doesn't even matter if they hold it or not. Okay. That's a huge hit. Hippie. Just value. That's all. It's just value. I think I'll get bold enough and I'll boot up the factory. Because in all honesty, the way that I see this is, I want them to quicksand this factory now because I'm not confident that they're going to have a removal spell. GG's. All right, we took the match. 2-1. Very nice. All right, cool. Let's talk about this deck on the outro. All right, everyone, let's talk about her. So we ended up going 2-1. We lost our first match against Blue-Green Madness, which was a bit of a brew. I think we're going to lose that most of the time. We're a discard deck. We're literally just giving them free plans for their deck. They just sit there with their mana open and they just discard to a pit or whatever. It's a tough matchup. You know, we can't win them all. We don't have any way to interact with it. I'm not mad about it. You know, I like Madness. It's a super cool deck, super fun tempo deck. Match number 2 we won, which was against a brew. It was a blue-green tempo brew, but what I think really I took away from that match was we have so many ways to fight through any kind of interaction on the stack, which I personally love. I love having the resilience to know that my top deck can do something important. It's fantastic. There was a lot of interaction in that game. There was a lot of fighting over stuff. There was a lot of, bringing in Perish and Infest and whatnot. So I like that a lot. It's a ton of fun. I'm going to keep it pushing the way that it is. Match number 3 was against Blue Black Tide. We took them 2-1. Felt really good. I hate Tide. I just don't like the card. I don't like the way the interactions work. And regardless, I digress. I personally think that Tide is like super, super strong. And I think even in a blue black shell, because they had like Nether Spirit and they had Tog and all sorts of stuff, we fared very well. Yes, we did get lucky hitting so many bottomless pits. Don't get me wrong. First game we had 2 out. Third game we had 3 out. We lost the second game on the draw. I think the first game was on the draw though. We ended up winning that. This deck has a lot of resilience in it, which I personally love. Like I think that bottomless pit is incredibly powerful. Our deck is built to play through it. We win by incremental value. I do think that 3 curse scroll feels correct. I could see myself going down to either. I could see myself -1 on any of the 1 mana spells. Funeral Charm being an instant was actually important. I ended up hitting that Psychotog out of their hand when I had 2 bottomless pits out. It was during the draw phase, so bottomless pit, they drew it, and then I Funeral Charmed them. Very interesting. I kind of like that. I like that interaction. Never really thought about that until I actually had it in my hand and saw it and was like, well, I may as well just take this now just in case it's like, something if it's not an instant speed card. So I like that a lot. But I think the important thing to take away is we fought through counter magic extremely well. That blue-green tempo deck that was like a Dryad deck with Mystic Snake, it was like a blue-green tempo. We just ripped right through their counter magic. They had so much. They had that stuff that bounced a card back to your hand so that basically they could hold up Snake next turn and all sorts of nonsense. And it's just we fought through it. Plain and simple. We got the value in. We had the Perish out the sideboard. We played our way around the hand. We knew it was in the hand. And I feel the same way about the blue black Tide. I mean, we've been tided out, and we were able to develop our bottomless pits and everything. This deck felt good. It really did. Like the shell, I don't think it's a perfect deck yet, but the shell felt great. Build your own Hymn to Turok, Gerard's Verdict, not terrible. Not terrible at all. I think it's a great card. I really enjoy it. Enlightened Tutor felt really powerful in this deck. The sideboard could definitely use some work, but I do like double tutor. I think I'd contemplate cutting Cabal Therapy, Duress, or Funeral Charm as a one-of, and then slotting in one more curse scroll, just to have essentially 5 curse scrolls, 6 rack, 6 pit in the deck in the main board. Just as my personal preference. I like having more ways to win and close if I need to close, because some decks we can't actually beat long game. But yeah, sideboard here is really interesting. I think we need some kegs in the sideboard. So I think we maybe drop down to 1 Seal of Cleansing and maybe just drop a Crypt as well. I don't know. I really got to think about it. I like Enlightened Tutor getting the majority of my sideboard. Infest and Perish both felt extremely powerful. Infest is just a great general card. Perish is as well. I would like some Diabolic Edict effects maybe I'm going to think about. I'm not super sold on Innocent Blood. I think I might split that. I might do a 2-2 split between like that and like Diabolic Edict or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. I do like that it doesn't target, and we do play low creature counts, but I'm thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of like destroy random stuff sweeper in here. So I think going down to either 3 or 2 Seal of Cleansings might be the answer, because Enlightened Tutor also gets keg. So I'm a huge fan of it. I think there's a lot of action to be had in this color pool right now for black-white as a whole. But specifically, this mono black deck splashing white, I think has some power. We didn't play the most powerful decks. No, that's very true. Against Naught, do we have the power? Maybe. With Innocent Blood. Like potentially, genuinely. Not 100% sure. But I don't know. It feels like it has some kind of action, and I'm very excited to explore this area. I can play this in paper as well. So once I get through my Goblin Guy project, probably going to be hopping into this a bit more, as well as Dead Gael, because I like both decks a ton right now. So I hope everybody's enjoyed this video. I appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate everyone who comments. I love talking to you guys. Please leave a comment down below if you got anything to say, or you just want to say hello. I try to respond to every single comment. I do, pretty much. If you leave 2 comments, I'll respond to one and like love the other one or whatever. But I hope everybody enjoyed. This has been 3-2 Brew, and until next time, cheers.